You're listening to the New Artist Workshop.
Animals that talk to humans get killed and eaten alive.
How could you be eaten alive if you were already killed, huh?
Oh, they have their ways.
Hello and welcome back to your favorite podcast. Now that's what I call a franchise. I'm Peter Mancuso.
And I'm Viviana Metzger. And this is a show where Peter and I pick a film franchise and go through every single installment. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And to be clear, we're defining a franchise as a series of films with at least 4 entries. So Viviana, what are we talking about today?
Today we are... Sorry, I'm hoarse. Today...
Could you say you have a frog in your throat?
You could say that. Today we are talking about the 2002 film Kermit Swamp Years. And this is your one and only spoiler warning. So if you haven't watched the movie, go do that before listening to this episode.
So we discovered that this is not really available anywhere. Like the only way we could watch it was like the only available option was to buy it digitally on Amazon for like $13, and I was like, absolutely not. So, and it wasn't even on Pirates Bay.
No, but you didn't. Did you buy it?
No. So what we had to do is I found someone uploaded it to Internet Archive.
Yes.
But it was a full screen version of the DVD. Mm. So that was annoying. And there was a widescreen version, but it was like had the fake commentary from Kermit and Croaker and Goggles, right? Those are their names, Croaker and Goggles. So I was like, okay, we can't watch this with the commentary.
Yeah.
So we had to settle for the full screen version, even though we just had a whole, not debate, but conversation in the last episode about aspect ratios and cropping and full screen.
Yes.
So that was kind of cosmically ironic, but yeah, so we had to go on Internet Archive for this. So technically illegal, but I mean, Internet Archive is...
Internet Archive is illegal?
No, not the website, but the uploading of copyrighted material would be considered illegal.
They don't have a special thing, like a criterion or like some kind of database exception?
No, because, well, with a criterion, like, they'll license it, right? So they don't just, like, take random movies and make Criterion collection copies of them. Like, they have to license and pay the copyright holders for it.
No, yeah, I just mean, like, I don't know.
I think in an archive, there is a rule, like, certain documents, like, I think, like, during COVID, they lacked some of it, but then in order to avoid, like, lawsuits, they were like, okay, like, we have this, because theoretically, the thing about digital copies is that, like, you can infinitely copy them, right? But what they would do is, like, they basically treat it like a library, so it's like, there's only 5 copies, even though it's technically all just one digital copy on our server. Like, if 5 people have checked this out, no one else can access it or something.
What is that?
What's what?
What is that?
Internet Archive?
Internet Archive? That's what you did? What were one of the 5?
No, some items it's not. They don't worry about that. Because, again, this is like... I don't think the copyright holders of this care. I think, frankly. But why don't you read the letterbox blurb for us?
Alright, here's the blurb. At 12 years old, Kermit the Frog and best friends Goggles and Croaker travel outside their homes in the swamps of the Deep South to do something extraordinary with their lives.
I'm surprised we didn't see any Confederate flags. As we did in the Muppet movie. When they go to the carnival.
That's true, it is there.
In the deep... The letterbox blurb makes it clear that it's the Deep South.
The Deep South. I always thought it was like Mississippi or something, but then the other...
Is Mississippi not considered the Deep South? I don't really know.
No, it is, geography. but then the going to Disney World thing...
They're in Florida,
made me think that he was from Florida, so now I'm confused.
Well, I mean, that should do more than make you think that. I mean, like, for that to work, it has to be in Orlando, Florida. But again, the canon is not... There's no consistent rules.
I guess I don't think of Orlando as the Deep South, but I suppose it could be considered. I don't know.
I don't think this takes place in Orlando.
I don't know, because there's a song, and she says, "I'm from the heart of the heartlands" or something, which makes you think like Nebraska, like in the middle of the country, right? But then she's from Kentucky. I don't think Kentucky is the heart of the heartlands, right? Never heard that before.
No. So let me just read you some basic info here. So it was directed by David Gumble, who sounds like a Muppet.
Gumble.
And he's directed a handful of Muppet projects, including Muppet Vision 3D.
No.
Which obviously the greatest film ever made. So, take that with a grain of salt. Though I think
With a tribute to all countries.
but mostly America. It was written by Jim Lewis and Joey Mazzarino. Joey Mazzarino voices Goggles. He was also one of the co-writers for Muppets from Space. It was produced by Rita Marie Peruggi. It was distributed by Starz. This actually was on Starz first.
Oh.
Like the premium.
Strange.
Well, I mean, there's been stuff like on HBO.
I guess so.
Right? So I think it was there, and then it was released on DVD later. But it was premiered in August of 2002.
I don't really think of the Muppets when you think of HBO and Starz, right?
That's because you're racist.
Well, it's more so because it's like...
You're like, how can they...
hardcore films, or like something a little bit more R-rated or something.
Well, that's the thing, is that it's not inherently that, but because of the conditions of the network being that, like, there's no commercials, they don't have to worry about, like, the FCC or advertising, they can do more adult things.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of thing. I mean, there's plenty of explicit things,
just like kind of...
I mean, Fraggle Rock was that HBO was its home.
More, I don't know, intense material or cussing or whatever. I mean, that was the whole, like, appeal of HBO, right? Like, that they could show uncensored stuff like that for what? That, at least in the beginning, right? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, they can still do that now. I think the original allure was being able to have...
expanded, but...
Well, I mean, again, HBO stands for home box office. So the original idea was a way to show... Again, like, before I mean, it existed, but before the, like, huge takeover of home media, HBO was, like, one of the ways to watch a movie, especially because it was uninterrupted by ads.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things. Like, we talked about movies getting butchered by, like, being made into full screen. A big butchering is when they show it on TV because it doesn't always line up with, like, a TV block. Sometimes they'll cut scenes, sometimes they'll add scenes.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, I know ABC Family, I remember as a kid would do that a lot, where they would add scenes to, like, make the time. So there's, like, a scene from The Grinch that you like that isn't, like, in the real version.
Strange.
So I think that was one of the original allures of HBO for sure, was, like, being able to watch these movies uninterrupted as they were meant to be seen. Though presumably still in 4:3, which is annoying. Maybe not, though. So, Vivian, what was your previous experience with this? Nothing. Okay. I saw this once. I think I rented it from Blockbuster as a kid. Because I would be of this era, like 2002. Like, I would have been the target demographic. I remember not being particularly enthused. It wasn't like, I hate this drivel. But it was just like... I just remember it not really caring, and then, like, kind of just moving on. And I've not watched it again until today. It could have very well been like 20 years ago or 22, because I probably watched this when it was like, because again, Blockbuster wouldn't have like a robust. That's actually not true. But I was gonna say it didn't have like a robust back catalog, statistically, if you were to like throw a rock and hit a movie, it was going to be a movie from like the last couple of years. So it wasn't like, if this came out in 2002, it wasn't like I picked this up in 2008. Presumably.
I guess so, yeah.
Right? Because there's only so many shelves. They want to like push out new stuff that people haven't seen. And they'll have the classics, but it'll be like...
Yeah, there's always that like kind of in between where like you're not a classic to like always carry, but also you're not super new that people want to like go. So...
And that was one of the original allures of streaming. With Netflix at first, but then especially once like the quote-unquote streaming wars started, like, that was my thing, was like, oh my God, this is going to be great, because now, like, Warner Brothers has its own streaming service with Max. So, like, great. They're just going to have everything, like this huge catalog. But we've talked about in the show before, having it up there, they have to then pay royalties. So they're like, it's not worth it to even have this up on our platform. So that dream kind of died. But that was like one of the allures, was like, you know, if this was physical, you would have to have a warehouse of all these movies. But now you could just have them all as like little tiles. But I guess this movie, including this movie, didn't make the cut because, again, we had to go to Internet Archive to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I guess like a place like Alamo Drafthouse would be. I know it's newer though. That's like from the early 2000s, but like that would be kind of like the exception, right? There's more kind of niche like indie stuff that you could check out.
Oh, like they had like that little movie rental thing. I don't really know enough about it because I've never done it, but.
But there was like that kind of stuff, whereas like.
But that was almost more like kitsch. Like it was almost like.
Yeah.
Like the way like people would like buy vinyls, because it's like, ooh, like it's more like it's almost more like a fashion statement. Because again, a lot of those movies, if I'm not mistaken, those Alamo Drafthouse movies, those are like VHS tapes. They may have been DVDs. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I was there.
They were just DVDs, but well, I saw some VHSs, but mostly DVDs. But now
that we moved, we can't go to Alamo Drafthouse. There is one in Boston though.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For what we would ever go to Boston just to go to like just to go see like even if it's like a special screening, because that's typically the only reason why I would ever go to Alamo, is to go to like the National Lampoon's sing along, or not sing along, but like joke along or whatever it was.
No, but anyways, I was just saying because I mean I probably don't know entirely just because I was a child, but I would imagine something like Blockbuster would have Star Wars and then like Men in Black because it just came out, but not necessarily like Serpico or like Paper Moon or like.
It depends on it would
random kind of stuff, like good stuff, but just like kind of more not mainstream, right? Whereas like a Star Wars or like Color Purple or something, I don't know, would be like kind of.
I would imagine it would depend.
And then like the newer stuff.
It was probably case by case, but my guess would be a combination of new, regardless of quality, and the classics.
Yeah.
Like the things that stood the test of time.
And then like other places would be more niche, and then it's kind of like an indie scene, whatever. But,
exactly. That's the thing. I don't know if there were like indie video rental stores that were like niche. I'm sure there were.
Oh,
but not that I experienced them in the suburbs.
You wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't know. It would be
in New York.
It would be local. Well, even if it wasn't in New York, I'm just saying those would be like really local. Like it wouldn't be like a.
I've never even heard about them in retrospect.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, so I did see this. It didn't really leave much of an impression on me. Even as a child, who's like, I mean, I'm the target demographic for this. And let's kind of get into it. I think the big thing about this is that its biggest sin is that it's just kind of mediocre.
Well, I was going to say that I think, yeah.
It's just a pretty conventional early 2000s kids movie. Like the score, the way it's shot, the story. Like it's just all very like this could be any movie from 2002 for kids. And
well, because remember what I was trying to get across with Muppets from Space and how like I see its faults, right? But this, like I see Joey's style and it's not super impressive. Like not that it's bad, but it's just
Who see Joey's style?
Yeah, the writer.
Oh, his style, his writing style.
His writing style.
Because he did co-write one of your favorite Muppet movies.
That it's.
I think the favorite. No.
I think so. Yeah. But
yeah,
take out the soundtrack and you get this.
No, I think Muppets from Space has more going for it.
I just mean in terms of like I don't know the story.
You're ruthless. You're like without that music, dog shit.
I was really turned off by the scientist who we then learn is just a high school science teacher when it makes it his first introduction makes it seem like he's a private billionaire searching for frogs to do evil experiments on, like a Lex Luthor type or something.
Yeah.
Or just like some kind of secretly like funded like lab something, not a high school. Not that there's anything wrong with that. They're just as valid as scientists. I'm just saying.
I think that's the point. I think that's the joke.
Cartoonish. Yeah. No, I know. It was just like a little bit cartoonish. And then the way that the pet store owner was introduced, I thought he was going to be the villain. But then...
He's just a nice guy.
It kind of just changed to him being kind of like a nothing character. And then the other guy being one of the villains. Because then there was also... What's his name? Blotch,
yeah, the big frog.
Who also...
He learns his lesson.
Some issues.
He learns his lesson. He learns to care for his friends.
Yes. And also, I'm not really sure what the movie is trying to say, just in terms of like an animal rights type of lens, like, you know, science experiments and doing weird things like that, you know, bad, okay. But then pets like to be pets? Question mark? Kind of thing, like, I don't know.
Well, here's something that I wasn't thinking about that in the vacuum of the movie isn't really noteworthy, but then when you consider this part of the larger Muppet canon, not like in terms of a continuity, but just like as like the corpus of work, it's weird, like in the movies and then like in interviews, like when they'll do like an interview with Kermit the Frog, like he'll make it very clear where he's like, you know, like I'm not like a normal frog.
What?
Like there's frogs and then there's like me. Whereas this movie kind of presupposes that all frogs are puppets.
Yes.
Or Muppets, right? Whereas, like, do you know what I'm saying? Wait, so it's like...
I thought Kermit was from Mississippi because Jim Henson is from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess all of these ones are frogs.
Like...
But no, they don't all have to be, right? Because there's also a pig.
Like a real fleshy pig,
and
yeah.
He's not a puppet.
Like, we make it... Remember, you don't have bones! Like the Muppets themselves are aware that they are not like they are Muppets, like that's their species, and they're frogs.
Yeah.
But there's like this unspoken rule that like they don't represent all frogs.
Well,
whereas in this,
all the pets were Muppets.
I know.
Except for the dog. They kept changing the dog.
Well, so they could have the dog running, like they would. With some pretty clever camera tricks where, like...
A real dog and then a Muppet dog when it's, like, the face. And
when it's, like, talking
and stuff, so...
But... Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, okay, so frogs can talk. Are we now as a society going to reevaluate... Can all animals talk?
Also,
or is it just frogs?
Yeah, so that's another thing, too, because... Like, in literally everything else, they're just spoken to as humans, or, like, just, like, as a fellow...
Well, I guess this is the
speaker.
origin story. This is where humans learned that the frogs could talk.
This one instance brought...
Wouldn't this be global news?
Yeah, like, what? Like, this has never happened before. This is like a Toy Story type situation where it's like the secret is finally
This would be like
revealed.
discovering aliens.
But it's like...
That animals can not only speak, but they're intelligent, and they're basically just like human beings, but they're just not. That would be like the biggest discovery of like the last 500 years, if not more.
Does Kermit like set off the entire like chain of animal integration, and then 10 years from now you could just be talking to your rat waitress?
Yeah. Well, I would imagine even if they could talk, there would still be limitations because not all animals have opposable thumbs to do things.
Well, apparently rats can cook, so the health violations
in
are
that
out
one
the
film,
window.
In that. Well, I don't mean that they can cook like it's allowed. Like I mean, like they physically wouldn't be able to. Now that's the thing, though, is because Kermit is anthropomorphic. Like he has a torso and arms and legs like a human, but frogs don't look like that.
That was another thing, because you had pulled up like a little clip maybe like a week or a few days before watching it, and I was kind of like surprised at the look of Goggles and Croaker, because they didn't look more like Kermit. Like
they looked cheaper. They looked like
rounder. They were like.
They look like cheap. They look cheaper.
They also they didn't have like a little collar. They didn't have,
Yeah.
They look like different kinds of Muppets.
Mm-hmm. The cheaper one.
Which I suppose is on purpose, but also it kind of like there has to be like some suspension of disbelief, because like they look like different species.
Well, if anything, they look more like frogs than Kermit does.
I know Goggles is a toad, but amphibians.
They look closer to their animal counterparts than Kermit does.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, Kermit started as just like a blobbish character.
Yeah.
Like, so, because if you think about what's that collar? Frogs don't have that little I
don't know.
thing. You know what I mean? So we just take it for granted because Kermit, he's so iconic. Mm-hmm. But if anything, Croaker and Goggles look more like.
Well, I just figured they would.
They don't look consistent.
Make him of the ilk.
They don't look consistent, exactly.
You know how like Fozzie's mom
looks just like it's basically like a Fozzie. It's a Fozzie Muppet, but
she doesn't look like an actual bear, right? So
like Fozzie is a bear, and so
He's
is Rentro, whatever the bear Muppet
yes,
is. Like those are both bears,
exactly,
but they don't look different.
His mom doesn't look like that.
I know,
like a real black bear.
I kind of liked.
Or brown bear.
I kind of liked with this trio. It's almost like Kermit is the ego, and Croaker's the id, and then Goggles is the super ego. Like they kind of represent these different things, and to that end, like not in terms of like continuity, but like it is billed as like Kermit's origin story. How do you think it works setting up our understanding of Kermit? I don't think it does, but I'm going to be charitable and pose the question.
I think it plays it a little bit fast and loose. Just because, I don't know, it just seems like an origin story, but it doesn't really like match up entirely.
I don't even mean like the details. I just mean like in terms of the character. Like, do you believe that this would then lead to the kind of person Kermit later is, or this is irrelevant? Because I feel like you could just write this script,
yes,
and then you could then make it about the Muppets after the fact. Like, it doesn't have to be about Kermit the Frog specifically.
Like, he seems to have more. Well,
like I could see this being one of those TV specials that we watched earlier in the season.
Well, because Croaker was kind of the one who was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it right."
That was weird that he was the one who instigates, like, we're leaving the swamp. Voiced by Bill Beretta, who's also the voice of Pepe. You can kind of hear he's like, we're leaving the swamp.
So, I guess kind of, because he has that, like, dreamy... I guess so, yeah, because he has that kind of, like, dreamy aspect, and then it takes someone else to pull him into action. Yeah. So, I suppose so.
It kind of has, like, prequelitis, where it's like, they are somehow they're somehow diegetically aware that they're destined for, like, greatness.
Yeah.
But we don't really get a sense of that. It's not like he demonstrates, like, oh, he's, like, really talented or something. Like, he's just like, oh, like, I feel like I'm supposed to leave here. Like, and it's...
Well, and another thing is, like, the wanting to work in Hollywood thing. I think that was a little bit contrived. It makes sense. But is this his only interaction? Is this his only... This is, like, his one and only thing?
I'd like to think now that it's safer to go into town and interact outside of the swamp. I think that's the whole point, is that, like, because of this, and now, like...
we're just not going to cut into them.
Well, that's, that remains to be seen. But I would imagine, well, again, this is not really about continuity, but in the Muppet movie, he mentions, when the agent is like, don't you ever go to the movies? He's like, sure, there's a double feature in town every Saturday. Mm. So I would imagine that, he's...
Maybe. Well, it took him, like, 5 years to walk, like, 20 feet. They were on that road. Without that car, they would have been on that road for forever.
For forever. And poor Croaker had that permanently disfigured. by the tire tracks. I thought it was gonna be like just like a one and done, like an effect for that one scene. And then it was like he would brush himself off.
Yeah, I thought he would dust it off. And
Like he's scarred now. Like he's deformed.
And it's like part of his character.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that affected my jump.
At least getting run over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it becomes part of him. Like his whole like, look, do you see this?
Well, at first I was a little nervous because I was like, oh, are they gonna? They're not gonna.
They could kill off
do
Croker.
that, right? They're not gonna mess with that, right? But I don't know.
What if this is like a fun, cheap direct to video kids movie 2002, and then all of a sudden Croker gets run over? Like it just gets really serious all of a sudden.
No,
That'd be really funny.
They wouldn't do that.
Like oh my god, and he's like his blood and guts, and he's like split in half, and his like eyes are open, and like
Sir, that would never happen.
I know, but it'd be funny just for the tonal jarring. Can we talk about how there's a pseudo Jim Henson cameo?
Yes,
Where
there
Kermit interacts with a young Jim Henson who has a dog named Rolf, who's a real dog. It would have worked if it was a little puppet,
That'd be silly.
but alas, and like it's at first I didn't realize
I didn't
it, and
catch it.
But then the way they
Until you
lingered
said
on
it.
it. The way they lingered on it, I was like, oh, that's definitely supposed to be Jim Henson. But then, like, to make sure you weren't confused, they then zoom in on the mailbox that says Henson, and it's like
That
the mom's
was
like,
silly.
Jim, come inside for dinner, whatever. Like,
I didn't catch it. When
so
they
Jim
were
Henson
talking
exists in this
to-
universe.
Yeah, I didn't catch it when when he was first talking to the pet store owner, and you were like, oh, his dog's name's Ralph, and I was like, oh. I guess so. I didn't.
I thought that was like a
wasn't
funny
really
Easter egg in that.
I don't know. He didn't look like. I guess
He was just a real dog.
I wasn't looking for that. It was just a child with a dog, and so it just kind of glazed over. But
I didn't realize it at first, and then I was like, wait a minute.
yeah, then later it was
Yeah.
like the one human who was nice to him.
The one human. All it takes is one.
Picked him up. When
Isn't
he
that what
was
Lady Gaga would say? She's like, there could be 100 people in the room, and you just need one person to believe in you. She would say that about Bradley
Maybe.
Cooper during the A Star Is Born
know.
press tour. She would, like, people made a compilation with like every press event. She would say that, like, that soundbite.
Oh, that's
Like,
silly.
there could be 100 people in the room, and only one person needs to believe in you. Talking about Bradley Cooper, they definitely had
We need
sex.
to be-
They definitely cheated on their respective partners with each other, 100%. Did you see the way they were looking at each other at the Oscars? Those were fuck me eyes, or rather, fucked me eyes. Past tense, as in happened already.
I don't know. They're just great actors.
But yeah, I really don't have much else to say about it. It's just kind of like, this is kind of whatever. I mean, there were parts that were kind of funny, but it was funny in like a so bad it's good kind of way. Again, like, it is very cheap. It's again, like, the
Acting's pretty wacky.
it's a direct, like, if you look at the human cast, a lot of like half of the human cast doesn't even have Wikipedia pages. That's like how obscure.
So what does that mean? They
There's not a lot of stuff, or not a lot of big stuff in order to warrant a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
So it's not like they have the cream of, because that's always one of the delights of a Muppet movie. I know this isn't a theatrical one, but one of the delights is all the cameos and like, so. I know this isn't quite at that level, but still, to not even have credit people who are like even get Wikipedia pages, that hurts. I know the trivia is your favorite part, but I really don't have a lot of trivia.
Watching the kids in the classroom was funny because some would like not act at all, and then some would like super act. So then you get like the let him go,
And then someone's like, let him go!
Let him go!
Yeah,
I'm
like,
oh my god.
and also, it's supposed to be like a freshman year biology class. Some of those kids look 12 and some of them look 30. They really just pulled people off the street. Like, do you want to be in a Muppet movie?
I was like, I don't think you dissect frogs when they're
Still living.
alive. I mean, ours were dead. I mean, wouldn't they be wiggling around? You know.
Ours came in like a prepackaged thing. Like, they were prepackaged.
Yeah, like in a bucket.
They like, no, but like in like a little kit. Like, two of you would be like lab partners, then you would get like a little kit.
Oh.
And it would have like a little thing with like the little tool, like the little scalpel thing or whatever. It was smelly. I did not like it.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
because I was
it's not.
against it morally. It was gross. I just didn't
Just
like it.
the formaldehyde or whatever. I'm so conflicted because I'm very much for animal rights, and I love animals, but I am also compelled by science. So I felt wrong about dissecting a frog, but then I was also curious about the insides of a frog.
You realize it's just a bunch of goopy tubes.
Well, that's why
It's not about the human body. Like the fact that animals exist, that evolution created these things. That's incredible. But when you open them up, it becomes way less impressive.
Hey, those
Because they're not working anymore, so it's just a bunch of goopy, fleshy tubes and organs and shit.
Those things do stuff, man. If you do some anatomy, I've been watching some anatomy videos from the Anatomy Institute, and it's pretty crazy. Our bodies are very disgusting, but also very cool. Self-sufficient. For the most.
Yeah. It's called homeostasis. Homeo. Wherefore art thou, homeo? Do I have some trivia?
Okay.
I don't have a lot. And the stuff I have isn't particularly great.
Okay.
Originally, Bill Beretta was going to play Goggles, and Joey Mazzarino was going to play Croaker, but they traded roles after they tried out the characters.
Okay.
So that would have been interesting. I think we're a Bill Beretta family. We like Pepe.
Sorry.
We like Croaker. Kermit is the only regular Muppet to appear in the movie, unless you count Statler and Waldorf's cameo at the movie theater.
Regular, as in like
Like a pre-established character.
pre-established, or like
Like a pre-established, I think.
yeah.
And although produced at Disney MGM Studios, right, because that theme park was also doubled as a movie studio. It was filmed there. Despite it being filmed there, the film rights, because this is like one of the last things, if not the last thing, right before the Disney buyout. So the film rights are still held by Sony Pictures rather than the Walt Disney Company. That's why it's not on Disney Plus. And I'm sure Disney's not like, we don't really care about buying these rights. No one wants this. It's fine.
Interesting.
Again, kind of like with Muppets from Space, which was also Sony. So,
Copyright law is so weird.
well, it's just so they own it, and until they give it away or sell it to someone, they have it.
I know, but you would think if Disney owns all the Muppets, they would have all the Muppets, not most of the Muppets.
No, see, but that's we talk about that. Even going back to the Jim Henson days, the Muppet movie and Great Muppet Caper are only owned by Disney today because back in like the 80s, Jim Henson bought the rights back. So when they bought the Muppets, they got the rights. Whereas Muppets Take Manhattan is still like not on Disney. Like, that's still technically, I think, I forget who, 20th Century Fox or MGM or whoever it was.
Yeah.
Maybe that was also Sony. I can't remember. So like, same thing with this. But the difference here is that Sony still exists as a film studio. So, so yeah. And did I do the last one? Yeah, I did the last one. I could not find any reviews from the time about it. So all I have is modern.
You said direct to video, right?
Yeah, TV to direct to video, but I think primarily direct to yeah. On Letterboxd is a 2.77 out of 5, so not great. I found some funny reviews here. Rupert Knoll writes in all caps, "Every scene is a nude scene."
This is true.
This is true. The characters, they are all naked. Noah writes, "Don't do this again."
Yeah. I was sad that little fly wasn't in it more.
You would.
What?
He's like the most insufferable early 2000s like kids movie character, and you're like,
Yeah.
it was missing. That's what it was missing.
It was missing that fly.
Only if that fly had come in and sang 70s funk, then maybe the movie would have been salvageable.
Then it would have been something.
Oh, boy. And then Michaela writes, "Kermit's mom is definitely a forbidden MILF."
My theory is that it was just a Kermit Muppet that...
Because they never turned it
They
around.
never show her face, so it is just the silhouette of a Kermit Muppet.
And she's voiced by Cree Summer, who's also voices the dog.
Cree!
And also voices the star. And the star,
that's
he sees the star, and he's like, "Is that you?" Mom's like, "No, I'm your star." She was like a prevalent voice actress in the early 2000s. I think she was on Codename Kids Next Door. I think she was on Rugrats as Susie. right? Like the little black girl. Is that her name, Susie?
I don't remember.
I don't know why I said it like
I know
that.
they have numbers.
I know everything I said was factual and neutral, but that felt really weird to say that little black girl. So I apologize. I don't know why it felt weird coming out of my mouth.
Number 5.
Number 5, yes.
Number 5. And it's spelled number 5.
But yeah, you can't do the hard ER on number. Yeah, Kermit's mom is definitely a forbidden MILF. I've never even heard the term a forbidden MILF, but I understand.
What does that even mean?
I would imagine it's like clearly a MILF, but forbidden because she's a frog. Like the character is like something that you don't want to.
People are weird. People do stuff all the time. What do they say? What's like a sexy?
Like she's not a MILF, but like Lola from Space Jam.
Sure, yeah.
Like these characters, like they're obviously not humans, but they're so anthropomorphized that like we're like someone who's attracted to Lola Bunny is not attracted to rabbits. They're attracted to Lola Bunny specifically because she's so anthropomorphized that it's like it.
You just
like the uncanny valley.
You just like them hips.
Well, I do enjoy some hips now and then. Okay, Viviana, favorite part: scene, character, actor, line, what?
Goggles.
He was very funny. He reminded me of you in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because he was getting so stressed out about things.
I relate, and yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of neurotic like that, and it's also kind of funny to watch, but also like same, because it'll be like, what about the water temperature, or like and I'm
Why?
like, shit, you're right.
Why were Croker and Goggles coded to be totally different kinds of personalities that are both from the same Brooklyn neighborhood? They both acted like they were from like Brooklyn in like the 30s.
Croker did have kind of like a
Like we're going to the swamp. We're leaving the swamp.
Brooklyn-y accent, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
And then Goggles is just like a very neurotic. Like he's like, oh my god. Oh yeah, I do like Goggles.
love him.
I don't know. I might have to say Goggles as well. The story, the arc with Goggles and Blotch.
So silly.
So simple yet so silly.
But also see, like, with the pet thing, I'm like, that's so on brand. It's like, why would I be living in a swamp when I
can be
could be
taken care of
someone's
forever?
pet and they would just feed me once a day or whatever?
He's like, oh, that sounds nice.
Like, oh, that's great. Because you think about being a wild animal, something's always trying to eat you. You always trying to figure out what you're going to eat, and then you got to figure out where you're going to sleep, and then maybe someone else might want to sleep there, and then someone might want to fight you for a girl. Or
Well, it's okay. He has his poison glands,
That's true. That's true.
which I guess don't kill you. They just kind of make you itchy or burn or something. At least in the movie. I don't know
I guess
how it
so.
works in real life, but
That's very strange. I suppose it depends.
so why does a toad live with the frogs?
Yeah, where's this?
Don't they have different
This is toad.
Don't they have different biomes or different like ecosystems? Like don't like you wouldn't normally see them together, right? Like
Yeah, like one spends more time in the water than the
Yeah.
other. And
different parts of the world too, right? Like
yeah. It's kind of like alligators and crocodiles, I believe.
yes. Do you want to know how you know which one's where?
American alligators are American.
and then crocodiles are in like Africa.
Which you know how I know that? From Jumanji.
Jumanji.
So I'm like, what is the difference? And then I remember Robin Williams would be like, well, actually, their noses are very different, blah blah blah. And that's all I know.
I don't know.
Like,
where it counts. Where it counts, they're two giant descendants of dinosaurs. They're basically just modern dinosaurs.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
They're the same to me when they're trying to chop your leg off.
Do you want me to give you something to think about? We found fossils. Mm-hmm. We as a society, not me or in a group of people.
Of course. The perfect.
Have found the royal we, so to speak. They have found fossils of dinosaurs that are basically like alligators, but like 10 times as big, like dinosaur size, but alligators.
Oh, like not the Stegosaurus. What is it? The something with an S. You know the one.
I don't know what it's called. that doesn't really matter.
The one in
but
Jurassic World where it's like white and like flat and it's amphibious.
maybe, yeah. I don't know what it's called,
Like chompy.
but we have found like basically giant crocodiles. That's horrifying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chickens might also be descendants from dinosaurs. Dinosaurs?
They are not might. They absolutely are. Birds. Yeah. And we now believe that dinosaurs, most of them were probably feathered to some degree.
Yeah.
That the vision of them we have in Jurassic Park isn't really accurate.
Because it's so... what's so difficult in terms of, like, trying to learn more about that kind of stuff is trying to piece together what an animal might be strictly on its bones.
People have done like those illustrations where if you did that with animals we know,
They would look
really weird and different because we don't have fossils of their blubber.
Yeah.
We don't have fossils of their feathers or their
Because there's like
color.
some things that make sense, right? If like like what the Stegosaurus and things like that are different kind of like bones, right? Like with the rhinoceros type of things like that.
Yeah.
That kind of indicates what it could have been based off of its potential function and things like that. But then you also think about how some things we don't use, right? Like we have, what are they?
vestiges.
Vestiges, yeah. So, damn.
Yeah.
That'll take a while.
We'll probably never know for sure.
At least not us.
Yeah.
We'll be dead.
Viviana.
We're gonna die one day. Anyway.
I don't even know what to... I'm so tired, I don't even know what to say. Viviana, 1 to 10. What are you giving Kermit's Swamp Ears? And keep in mind, the writers and directors are on the phone, and they're listening to you give a score. So... and they're very emotionally fragile, so keep that in mind.
Oy.
Oi!
I also don't know. Oy. Oh, this is so difficult. Okay, I think I'm gonna give it a 6, and
6.
I was gonna put it under the tail of Bunny Picnic, but then that would be above Muppet Treasure Island. But
Which would you enjoy more?
it's Muppet Treasure.
If you had to pick one, what would you rather watch? And this is a good test because we watched both of these fairly recently. Like, I gotta be honest, I feel like I would rather watch this. Because it's really cliche, because Muppet Treasure Island was just so boring.
Yeah, and this one kind of has like some redeeming qualities in terms of, like...
Or at least it's just kind of silly.
coming together, saving the frogs, we love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the coming together part is kind of like the redeeming qualities
Yeah.
of like, and also with like Blotch and with Goggles.
Yeah.
And, Croaker and Kermit and stuff, and, kind of the interpersonals and
The interpersonals.
being there for others and
Yeah.
stuff. But then there's also just stuff.
So you're gonna put it below Tale of Bunny Picnic, but above Treasure Island?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah!
All that to say.
Okay. I think I'm going to give this a 5. And it's pretty mediocre. These ochres, they're pretty meaty. But I think I gotta put it at the top of the 5s.
Also above Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah. Just again because it's kind of silly, and again, not because I have nostalgia for this specific movie, but because it is of an era for which I am nostalgic. Like there's like a small modicum of comfort watching it. If that makes sense. Because it's so conventional and cliche, it's pulling from conventions and cliches from movies that I am nostalgic for. So,
I think if there was more of the fly, I would have liked it more. And I'm not even joking.
That was easily the worst part.
No, I didn't like that part.
As soon as he came on screen, I went, please don't let him be part of the movie. And then, like, he was only there in the beginning. I was surprised.
I thought it was fine, but I thought the whole, like, being in Kermit's mouth thing was really weird. But I was like, oh, a sassy little fly to accompany Kermit.
He
How
walked
silly.
so that fly from Princess and the Frog could run.
Raymond?
Raymond!
They call me my name Raymond, but everybody call me Ray.
You like Raymond, you like Pepe.
Yeah.
These, like, well, Raymond's like Creole, right?
Yeah.
Like the thing. Raymond.
Raymond? Raymond.
Raymond. Oh, I thought his name was like Ramon.
Oh.
It's Raymond?
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
No, he does it in the sky, and then he touches the mond with his butt, and then it goes away, and it's just Ray.
That's it for this week's episode. Now, that's what I call a franchise. Next week, we're watching the next film in the franchise, the 2002 film, It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie.
Another Christmas movie.
Yes, you've seen this one before.
Okay.
We've watched this before. Viviana, where can they find us?
Y'all can find us wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to follow us on social media.
And if you have the time, leave a rating for us on Apple Podcasts, because apparently that helps.
And if you have even more time, leave us a review, too.
We know you have many podcasting options, and we thank you for choosing us. Peace out, guys.
Later.